By the way, they're loving their Bull down there.
Would you guys bring Bull back? Oh, sorry, relax.
They are really counting on it. All right, let's do the show, fellas. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show. There it is. Nuggets taking on the Pelicans. You guys know what I already forgot? That last game.
What are you even talking about, man?
That's what I'm saying. I don't even remember it. It didn't even happen. I already flushed that one, and I'm ready for tonight to be a brand new experience. Hopefully an enjoyable one. It's cold outside, but we're going to heat it up with some hot takes today. We've prepared some hot takes to try to warm your temperatures. Look forward to that. Also, Jokic, back in the MVP conversation, boys.
Back on the menu.
Back on the menu. Will it be as toxic this time if Embiid is disqualified? Maybe, maybe not. Just differently. Just toxic.
Yes.
And then, of course, the Nuggets are taking on the Pelicans, a very good team that might be a first-round matchup, and I'm a little scared of them, you guys. They're a two-faced team, but one of those faces, very, very scary. And then, of course, Bet365, Never Ordinary, presenting sponsor. They're going to make us lots of money. So we're going to listen to Dev. Oh, my God, who's this handsome devil?
Hey, listen, it's a Friday night, fellas.
Is that what it is?
I figured if you get Subus on Mondays and Tuesdays, the least I can do is step it up on a Friday, you know?
All right, there you go. Look at my man over here, Dev. What's going on?
Just fresh. That's a fresh man.
That is a fresh man.
That's a fresh man.
That is a fresh man. Over here, it's D-Line Co.
Did you guys know that this is the first Friday apparently we've ever known Brendan?
New year, new me.
We've never had a show on Friday before.
It's a new
Look at
year,
that
new
hair.
year.
My God, that hair. Turn to the side to the camera. Can we get a close-up, Kale? Get a close-up. Look at that. Just perfectly combed.
Listen.
Honestly, man, when you have a good hair day, it is one of the best. It's just like the best.
I'll take your word for it.
Over there, Superstar Dev.
I'm excited for this one. It's about getting a bad taste out of our mouths.
That's
So
right.
true.
Didn't like that last one. Guess what? We get another crack at it. This is the one.
One of those games that just lingered. Just
Linger.
lingering. Nuggets are taking on the Pelicans. I mentioned them. They're a scary team. Their best, very good. What do you have first game notes-wise?
Well, let's get to the biggest game note because you might have seen that lengthy injury report for the New Orleans Pelicans. Except that Willie Green says Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and Trey Murphy are all available for tonight's game in Denver. So a suspected rest spot for them, they're going for it. These guys are all playing.
They have a back-to-back. They play at Dallas tomorrow, and I think they put that out there going, which one are we going to rest for?
Right.
And they chose play Denver. I find that offensive.
Yeah, dude. I do too. Don't they know what we're going through?
last season, they at this time of year, a team would not have been doing that. This was around the time when Denver looked like a team you didn't want to play at home, and in fact, a lot of teams essentially did duck that matchup when on the road.
Denver's 9-3 though in their last 12. Like as much as we are, like you know what I mean. There's this weird thing going on with the Nuggets where they're actually winning.
It's basketball. Never too high, never too low, except for always too high and always too low.
That's kind of our MO, man. I'm so like logically never too high, never too low. But I mean, sports are so dumb if you just like emotionally remove
if you
yourself.
Just like you're like, oh, what do you know? They won.
Yeah, like come on, man.
Oh, and then now they lost. Oh well.
Huh? That's basketball, isn't it?
That's notable.
For the Nuggets, a much more simple injury report. Although it's not necessarily good news, Julian Strawther is dealing with a knee issue. He's still going to be out for the next week or so, per Michael Malone. And then Pickett and Hunter are with the Grand Rapids Gold. Other than that, clean injury report. And Vlaco, of course, get better soon, Vlaco. But a clean injury report for Denver. The highlight is Julian Strawther, who's been out, is going to be out for the next week or so, per Malone. And it's an important week. Malone says that he thinks this next 10-game stretch is the toughest stretch of games that he can remember throughout his time in Denver, facing a bunch of playoff teams, doing it on the road. It's going to show us a lot about who we are, Malone said. And guys, I think he's both right, and Malone talks about the schedule a lot.
I was just about to say
we
this.
get a lot of, like, I don't know if I can remember looking at this stretch. I'm like, I don't know. There seems to be one every year.
we just got done, more back-to-backs. Now we're in toughest thing I've ever seen. Like, really is just, I don't know.
I don't know, man. He complains about that a lot.
He did, though. He had another great line that I think is true and maybe underrated about how you sort of think about your team in this era. There really are blowouts all the time and good teams getting blown out. The Celtics, I don't know if you caught that yesterday, blown out.
I saw, yeah. I did catch that.
Can I tell you, by the way, I just wanted to bring this to your attention. Bill Simmons, we love him. We love Bill Simmons on the show. Big fan. He called the win over the Timberwolves one of the best win of the year, all this different stuff. Timberwolves are on the second night of a back-to-back. They got stuck in Orlando, had to fly in the day of the game to play, and won in overtime, and they were missing Gobert and Conley. He called it the best win. They lose to Milwaukee. They were on a back-to-back.
They were on a back-to-back.
I thought it was hilarious. I love Simmons, but that was
listen, back-to-back buys you maybe a loss, some grace in a loss. When you're pushing 50 points, I don't know if it's the back-to-back.
We did that to Utah.
Oh, wait.
I mean, I don't remember it, but that did happen.
I know, we've lost we ceded literally all of our moral high ground in this conversation.
I know. I'm still going to fire away, though.
I understand.
But in all sincerity, like, it feels bad because the Nuggets got blown out, but the truth is, not that there's ever an excuse for blown out. They played like ass. They got killed. They played like spiritless. But it really is so common right now. Every team in the NBA has lost by 30 points this year.
Especially right now. Like, it's a stretch, and it's all on national TV. Like, everybody's getting blown out, where it makes it tough, to be able to root for that or just watch it throughout in its entirety. But good teams are going to lose, bad teams are going to win. That's just the name of the game. And every single night you're going to have something new. But when you put it into perspective, where it's, like you just said, they've won, 9 of their last, whatever. That's where you get it. But of course, we're living in the moment because we're supposed to.
Yeah. Charlotte, by the way, only won one game in the entire last 31 days. One game. Blowout win over Sacramento in Sacramento.
Did the in-season tournament usher in a second set of dog days for the NBA?
Yeah, I think it might. Honestly, very good take. I think this was one of the things I asked about the in-season tournament.
The whole season's dog days.
It is. It's nothing but dog. You got. So now it starts off early season, in-season, dog days, all-star break, ramp up, dog days, playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs. First round, though, kind of dog days.
Double dog days, dude.
First game of the first round, that's a dog day.
Dog days of the playoffs.
By the way, I'm doing the show with Legler, ALLCITY All-NBA show. Check it out. Legler is funnier than I thought he was. I didn't realize he was so funny. He told me, though, because he doesn't believe in back-to-backs. He just thinks it's all made up that this is a challenge. They are real
for what it's worth.
He just
they do exist.
He's like 1 day rest, 0 days rest, 5 days rest, all the same. These guys make a big deal of nothing. But he did talk about in his day traveling, coming into the league in 1990, he said they used to fly commercial, and the first, second, third year guys, the lower level guys, they sat just random seats. And I kept thinking, can you imagine sitting next to, you got, Chris Webber or Greg Ostertag, and you're, in
you're sitting next to Jay Huff.
Jay Huff. There's this giant 7-foot bodies, and you're, in the middle seat. You hate sitting
can
next
you
to
actually
me?
keep your legs to your seat, if that's okay, Jay Huff?
That's my armrest there, Mark Eaton, 7'4".
Yeah. Wemby comes on the plane, and you're like...
Yeah.
Well, he would at least get first class. It's the lower members of the Spurs, who we don't even know their names.
They don't, though. I'll bet you there was something humbling about this, though. The 90s, everybody talks about as a great era. The NBA peaked in the 90s. Maybe
that's what it was.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, there's something about I'm a normal human being.
Yeah, but everybody tells a story about the good old days, and then you hear the story, and there's nothing good about the day. There's nothing good. The good old days, I used to walk 5 miles to school.
Yeah. It's more like the good old days.
That's not good.
We score 70 points.
They had to retrieve the ball from the peach basket. Michael Malone shouted out Herb Jones today also, and I thought it was very neat that he called out his ability to be the low man in rotation and get to the corner and contest. I thought it was an interesting note because Malone often gives compliments to others that he wishes he could give to his team. So I felt like that one. I just filed it away because I almost was like, I'll bet you he says that to Peyton Watson a lot. Hey, you need to rotate and get over there. So I just thought that was a good one. Also, by the way, the New Orleans Pelicans, they are coming off of 2 blowout wins. They blew out Sacramento 133-100 in Sacramento, and they blew out the Golden State Warriors so bad that everybody keeps asking Steph Curry if he wants traded. I'm not kidding. Have you noticed? Have you seen this?
They saw the show the other day where I called for it. And then Miroslav called me out for saying that I was saying we should trade Jokic, which you suggested.
Isn't that what you said?
No!
141-105, they beat them, man. This team is like, I'm telling you, New Orleans, you guys have been, it's one of my side piece teams.
Sure.
And I actually don't even want to call them side piece because it's that I respect them, but I fear them. And it's,
That sounds like a side piece to me.
You guys, have you looked at the weather report lately?
I don't do that, actually.
I have.
This is Adam. Adam was 39 2 days ago. One day happened and he turned to 50.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
You guys been
But I'm not
tracking
going
the
to
weather
touch that
patterns?
thermostat, though. I'm just going to get more blankets. You can always just get more blankets.
Like, you would think that Adam was in like a midlife crisis at 40. He's in midlife. Adam's going to turn 100 because he's 50 today.
Guys, it's getting cold out. All right,
Yeah,
I don't know
guys,
why I
that's the
framed
point.
this as a question.
Yeah,
It's
there we
getting
go.
really cold out. -5, -8. Look at these temperatures, you guys. A high of 3. Mm-hmm. High of 3. You got to wait for it to warm up to 3 degrees.
I thought this was a graph of Jokic's effort level over the last
that's
several
exactly
games.
what it is. And for all those Europeans that are watching, that's like, I don't know, -15 or something.
So 0. Would be
32 would be
32
0.
32 is
They always
0.
say kilometers.
32 in Fahrenheit is 0.
Yeah.
It is, I don't know how many kilometers this
we
is.
don't know how many meters this is, kilometers.
It's really cold, though. It's going to be freezing cold out here. So I figure we would try to warm things up. We try to warm things
I
up.
was
by,
wondering where you were going with this, man.
we're going to try to warm things up with some hot takes about the
Yeah.
Denver Nuggets. Now, it has to be something you kind of believe, but get it spicy enough, guys, that we can warm
Whoa.
up. We're on a low. Let's dig our way out. Dev, what's your hot take?
Well, we've already talked about Jokic trying to get the triple-double. I think that this is the year that it actually happens where he averages a triple-double in the year that he's not even trying to average it.
Or getting them. Oh, no.
No, he's at 9.2 assists. He's 30 assists behind schedule.
He's going to average it. for the
So
year.
he's just going to have a couple games of like 18 assists and bring it back up to the average.
That's going to happen. He's going to average a triple-double.
All right, to me, that's like a 5-pepper take. I can't believe you left that low. I feel like that
Kale
got the
gave it a
temperature.
0, and
Yeah,
Adam
what was
gave it a 5.
What was the temperature there? How hot did he
0.
warm
He
us
gave
up,
that
Kale?
a 0. That's not hot at all.
He warmed us up to 0 degrees. All right, well, I guess we're going to just freeze to death. D-line?
It's cold out
All
here.
right. So I think the Denver Nuggets, because they are slog specialists at this point, we're going to get a worse win total this season from the Denver Nuggets.
But he's in a bad spot.
Hold on, it's his turn.
But we're going to get a better postseason run.
Woo!
That's-
all right.
that's really-
wow, he got us all the way up to 55. I might barbecue.
Yeah, dude.
I might
Take
go
the
throw some
jacket
steaks
off.
on, man.
Yeah.
I might throw my shorts on.
That will require probably 2 sweeps.
Man. I like it.
Thanks, bro.
I like it. That's a good one. That's pretty. I'm feeling warm already, man. I might take this sweater
All right,
off.
Eric took us to the postseason. Let's stay in the postseason. I think what he said is going to come true because the Nuggets bench, without Bruce Brown and Jeff Green, will be better in the postseason this year than they
Oh
were
my God, it's too hot.
It's too hot.
It's way too spicy. I would say that one isn't quite a 100-degree scorcher, but
Well,
you
hold
know
on.
what?
In the postseason, the bench is 2 guys.
3 guys.
3 guys.
Well, is it?
We'll find out. You're right. It might not be. It might just end up being 2 guys. That one is a scorcher. What do you think that looks like?
Well, I don't want to sound like a hater.
Uh-oh.
I don't really think Jeff Green contributed a ton during that run.
That's what I'm saying.
I think he did.
And I think Reggie Jackson has a chance to be a big playoff performer for them. I think Peyton Watson has a chance to do more than Jeff Green did in the postseason. And I actually think Christian Brown, as much as he's gone exploring in the regular season, I think in the postseason he's going to be an even better. I think he's going to be better. I think the whole game plan is going to be simplified for him. I think he's been a better 3-point shooter, which will matter. And so I think between those 3 guys, I actually think they're going to be better off than they were last year, despite the public perception on the loss of Bruce Brown.
Well, that was really spicy, man. We got hot. We're sweating out here.
Where is that spicy? I said there's going to be 2 sweeps.
Kale's the judge here.
Yeah, dude,
Kale is the
don't get
heat
mad at
miser.
me. Get mad
Kale
at Kale.
gave Dev a 0, and you gave him a 5. So it's possible we empowered the wrong guy.
We can't argue with Kale, you guys. Kale, the judge.
Yeah, we need to get taller refs.
We need to get taller refs, man. It's a great take. Guys, Murray had 37 the other day. That's his
Yeah.
high on the season. And it took a lot of shots and a lot of being on fire. Michael Porter's high this season, 30. Are they capable of scoring a ton of points? I think yes. I think both guys have a 40-point game this season. 42 games left. Man,
is it the same game?
Not the same game.
Do you know who we should never ask about the weather? Kale. Have you ever been outside yet and you're not sure what jacket you should put on?
What are we looking at here? 40 degrees, Kale? Is that 40 degrees?
Also, MPJ putting up a 40 ball is insane.
Yeah.
Also,
he's never done it.
That should be hot.
That alone is
44 degrees, and he's never done it. All right, well.
If Kale was in the Three Bears, the fairy tale, like, they would just die. Like, he doesn't understand too hot, too cold, just right. No clue.
Porridge everywhere.
All right, well, those were our hot takes. That ought to be good.
Covered in porridge.
You guys.
That was fun.
Joel Embiid was, for a while there, ducking the road games. I really believe he was, resting on those. But now he's just hurt. And some rumors are starting to come out. Ramona Shelburne has speculated that the injury he has, 4 to 6 weeks typically, maybe he comes back sooner. Now, why would he come back sooner? Well, the MVP requires you to play 65 games. As of tonight, he's missed 10. He can miss 7 more games all year.
Yeah.
I think he's missing another 4 or 5, maybe more, just with this one injury. Which makes me think, if you look at the odds, and we talked about this, Embiid has fallen down to almost like 5th or something like that.
Yes.
We're not even halfway through the season, and he's already well past halfway to his missed games. He's, I think, taking himself out of the conversation. So guess what? Jokic's odds, right back there.
God damn.
Right back there. Oh, he only had 4 points the other day. Oh, he's gotten thrown out of 2 games. Doesn't matter. His numbers are still ridiculous. He's still an MVP candidate. There's some new contenders. Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think Giannis is going to circle back into the conversation. But whether he wanted to be or not, Jokic's back in the MVP race. Dev, is it going to be as toxic if Embiid is not competing with him?
I think absolutely. I think it might be more toxic because they're going to be so pissed off that they're going to say that's the only reason he didn't win it is because he missed every single game this year.
Okay.
He's going to miss so many games, but it's not going to be about stats. It's not going to be about the wins because they're winning even without him. But at the end of the year, it's going to come back to him. But they're going to say that they created a rule only for Jokic. They're not going to, put it in anything else. So yeah, it's going to be toxic. Also, he's not trying to win it, but he's playing so well that they're going to just say it's skewed for players like him. Whatever.
So you think it'll almost be like, good for him. He won a pity MVP, they'll call it.
Well, congratulations to the minutes merchant.
Yeah. Well, it's more of like
merchant, right?
the different rules. They're going to say he created the Jokic rule as if Embiid only lost it because of that. Like, they're going to say Jokic plays every game. Of course, you guys put that together.
Perfect
when it has
attendance.
nothing to do with Jokic.
All right.
It has something to do with Embiid not playing that many games.
That's exactly how it's going to play out. It's going to be terrible, disgusting. People are going to say, and it honestly could be true that he doesn't deserve it. Like that, Embiid had all of these stats, but it doesn't count because it's going to be terrible. But I don't even think that Jokic is going to win, even with Embiid taking himself out.
Why?
Because I think that the voter, because this is not a perfect science, because it comes down to human beings making decisions, and I think that they will look at it, and I think that we talked about this the other day. I just think they look at somebody else being in line for it. I think Luka will win it.
Oh, but Luka, man, do you think Luka will win if they're not a top 4 seed with a fully healthy roster?
Obviously we have to see how the season plays out. I just think that people want to give it to him.
Really?
I do.
People kind of hate Luka. I feel like Luka is on the Jokic trajectory where
I think
they're
the
just
Phoenix
hating
Suns
him well ahead of it.
I think the Phoenix Suns hate Luka.
No, a lot of people don't like Luka for whatever reason. Like,
well, we'll see. That's my prediction. How many peppers, Kale? 0.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think Embiid was on his way to winning it, right? Without this stipulation, I probably would have bet on him.
maybe.
Having said that,
I think you drive your car in the red for a mile and then it breaks down.
Well, I agree with that too. So yeah, that's a better way of putting it, probably. But the statistical case was there. Like I thought of Embiid had a chance to win this one. The games played thing does change it a lot. I think the 1 seed matters a lot this time in a way it hasn't necessarily in some of the Jokic years. I think if the Thunder get the 1 seed, SGA's got a real chance. I really do. And that might be, people might be eager to give the Thunder something, some kind of they might not win the title this year, but they got the 1 seed. They're the new team on the block, and SGA was that guy, and voters might get enamored with that. Having said that, if Denver the dust settles and they're the 1 seed again, and Jamal missed some time, and I think Jokic is going to win. So I think the 1 seed really matters this time.
I think Jokic's going to be right back in the middle of it. I think it's going to be Shea, Jokic, and one of Giannis and Luka. Maybe with 4 people. Like, it's always been 3 people, and it gets reduced to 2. Honestly, if you think about the MVP race the last few years, it should have been a 3-person race, but it just becomes Jokic and Embiid.
Right.
And I've always thought it was weird how Giannis got pushed to the side for no reason. Maybe we just don't have the capacity to include too many players. This year, I do think there's going to be 4. I don't think it'll be Tatum. I think he's kind of like come and gone as an MVP candidate. I think it's going to be Shea, Giannis, Jokic, and Luka's the 4th guy if they can climb up the standings enough. But I just don't know if they can. I think they're going to be like a regular 6 seed, and people will go, yeah, you can't win, 49 games and be the MVP. And I just think that's how it goes. And you know what? I'm curious to see also if he never really ran from the MVP until last year.
Right.
And this year, it almost feels like he's less interested in it. There's been some games where we wonder, why is he only scoring 4 points? Is he almost trying to suppress his numbers? I wonder if Embiid gets taken out, if Jokic is like, all right, I just didn't want that. Now I'll just go for it, because it's like, it's not against one guy, it's against a lot of guys, and so it's not personal.
I think this year is more a representation of what Jokic has to do. Like, I don't believe that Jokic is motivated in any way, shape, form, anti the MVP consideration at all. Like, I think he was last year when it got very ugly. I think he took himself out. But like years past, he won the MVP because all the other players are out and he had to play hard. Like, everybody's healthy this year. He doesn't have to, so he's not.
All right, guys, enough talk. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Open up the Bet365 app and listen to Superstar Dev.
So, Denver started the day as 8-point favorites.
What?
Yeah. It was a lot of people that were not going to play in this game. They're now playing. Denver's now favored by 5.5.
Yeah.
I do think that that's tough. Denver did not look like themselves the last time we've seen them, and it's the same narrative. National headline game. Teams are getting blown out. I hope that is Denver on that end of the floor. They have to respond. Bad taste in their mouth. They haven't been that lock of just winning at home every single time. I think they get back right. I'm going to go with Denver minus 5.5.
You are?
I am. I like it.
I'm going to go.
I hate that I always have to go with Dev. I can't not take his bets.
What are you going to do? Trust yourself?
No.
I'm going to go with the over.
Can't do that.
Over 229 in this game. Pelicans want to score, and they're in an offensive groove right now. They're actually pushing the pace. They're actually scoring. And their entire starting lineup is finding their own. They're a very balanced team. They can score. Denver is also going to score, and they also have to find their rhythm right now. So I think that this is a get-right spot. While I talked about Denver, I like Denver over 118.5 on the team props. I do think this is a fast-paced game, high-scoring. Both teams can score, and there's going to be multiple people getting it going. So I like that. On the Pelican side of things, let's just lock it in. Ingram over 18.5. I just think that's too easy.
I think you're right.
He scores when he wants to, and he's smooth. He really is. I think because he's high, you don't realize how smooth he is.
Right.
I think you have to be high to see how smooth he is. That's what it is.
That's why I like him so much. I never realized.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I'm going to go Zion over 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Pass.
How do you slow down that man? Also,
Big
let me tell you,
at altitude.
I'm glad that you said the
Questionable.
altitude. This is where it is. There's a correlation in states that don't have a lot of fried foods.
Talk.
And then also
Which states are those?
That's where his energy level is. He'll sleep good. He'll go to Mad Greens or something like that.
Yeah, is that right? That's where he went,
and he'll be ready for this game. I might have made that up.
Okay.
But I bet you there's something to it. I'm going to go over points, rebounds, and assists for him. On to Denver side of things. MPJ has to get back involved. I just feel like he has to. But how does he do that?
40
the shots
points.
are not falling. He's not a huge part of the offense, and the starters have suffered as a result for that. I think that he gets involved, and they make it a point to get him some points. Points are only 15.5. I think he gets that. It's the Christian versus the high man. So I'm going to go with the Christian, of course. There's only one way to respond after you have a game as shitty as Jamal's was last time, and that's just blending in. I think that he's going to try to win back over teammates. His assists are at 6.5. I think that's a lot, pretty much. Like, I think that he is going to get over 6 assists. And he got 6 last game, and he dribbled the air out of the ball. So
That's true.
I think that's pretty easy. They keep gifting us the KCP over 9.5 points. Why wouldn't we take it? Gets it every single time. Also, he gets to shoot the technical free throws. That always gets him going. It's like easy points every single time for him. He's also knocking down the 3 ball, so I like it. Gordon does the little things, and he'll be asked to be the connector in this game with everybody else trying to score on both ends of the floor. Also, he'll have his hands full with Zion and trying to keep him off of boards. That gives
Could
him
have foul trouble too.
That gives him more rebounding opportunities, though. I like his rebounds and assists at over 9.5. It's also plus money. That's gonna happen for sure.
All right,
and for the lock, we just saw an aggressive game by Jokic, and he had to cut it short. I think he continues that aggressiveness. I think he's going to score with ease. 25.5 is too low. But I really like points, rebounds, and assists in this game.
I do too. That's
he's
a great one.
He's going to average that triple-double, like I said. That means he has to pick up those assist numbers.
Should we take triple-double while we're at it?
Let's take triple-double while we're at it. Get the points, 25.5. Get the points, rebounds, and assists, 45.5. And then get the triple-double. Monster game for Jokic coming in.
You know what I like tonight?
What do you like?
I like the official DNVR bet boost, which is, you can find it up top. You can see Nux. It is for Michael Porter Jr. to make 4+ threes and for the Denver Nuggets to win. That is boosted to plus 500, friends.
Michael Booster Jr.?
Michael Booster Jr., dude.
Where is it at? I don't see it. Where do I go?
Look for Nux.
Look for Nux.
It's
Up top, you see you have a privacy screen. So
he always does that.
The image is up top.
And while Adam finds that bet, we want to remind all of you that win or lose will be here after the game in the lounge, ready to break it all down.
Which one is it?
So you go to bet now, and it takes you to the game, and then it's in the bet boost. Is the second one. New Orleans Pelicans at Denver Nuggets, single game parlay, money line Denver Nuggets. Michael Booster Jr. 4 threes.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Boosted to 500.
I love it. The official, we got to take that one. You have to take it.
You do.
I love it. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to go. Oh, we had a super chat.
'Tis an ill cook who cannot taste his
Nadine
own
Marcus,
cooking.
if Vogt lets his mustache grow out again, the Nuggets will go on another winning streak. Say less, Nadine. Say less. I want it.
How long is that going to take? It's like old growth
About 29 years.
What you didn't realize is you were looking at a redwood last time.
Yeah, that was.
It took a very long time.
That took my entire life. So we'll see. But I'm working on it.
Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. The pregame show. Hit the like button. We'll see you.
Let's go.
We all silly like the mayor.